Probably some rice and chicken, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sounds basic, yeah. But to be honest, David cooks. You're going to meet David. David cooks. He's a phenomenal cook.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, I'm excited to chat with him. We'll figure out what that looks like.
1,000,000% have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
You feel like the pressure's on?
Yeah, it's my first time doing this sort of thing, so it's exciting.
Well, I'm excited to have you as a part of this. So,
thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a look inside the city where we get to interview players on the Lansing City USL 2 team and figure out a little bit more about them. How did they get here? What's their experience been like? And today's look inside the city is from a very special guest who was also on the Lansing City USL team last year. Yep. It's Sahel Yessen. Thanks for joining.
Yep. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So, Sahel, just like Sam, who we talked to last time, you were on the team last year.
Yep.
We'll talk a little bit about what your experience has been like at the team, last year, this year. But first, I'm curious, how did you find yourself playing on, last year, all of a sudden you're playing on the Lansing City USL 2 team. How did you get to that point?
Well, I played previous to that, the year before that, at a team called South Bend.
Okay.
And we versed some of the Lansing boys twice, and thankfully I had 2 pretty good games against you guys. Lost one, drew the other one. And I remember the last game of the season was against Lansing, and some of the boys had come over to me, said, are you interested in America? What's your thought? Are you trying to join? And I said, yeah, why not? Like, it's every boy's dream to come to America. America's the land of dreams. So came, played for Spring Arbor, and then the positives that come with Spring Arbor is obviously have the opportunity to play for Lansing, which is a big club. So that comes with that, and it's like, you can't say no to that, really. So I was like, as soon as I got the opportunity and coach asked me to play, I was like 100% all the way in. So
that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
So you were not originally from the U.S. or living here?
No.
So how did that first time, you found yourself playing for South Bend, how did you come here for the first time and make the decision to stay here for a period?
Okay, so now we're going to go into some different lingo. So in England, what we call college, you guys call high school.
Okay.
But it's the last 2 years of high school. So your senior and junior year of high school, we call college.
College, okay.
Yeah, so it's separate. So I played for a college team that was run by an ex-professional, and he owns a few clubs in America and England. And one of the clubs he did own was South Bend. And each year he runs a few showcase games against other academies, etc., to see who's good enough to send to different clubs. And I remember we versed Leicester City, Northampton, and Burton, and he was like, yeah, I think you're really good. We want to send you to America to see if you can play in the summer. Sent me to South Bend. Obviously, we never did great as a team, but individually I did pretty well myself, and that landed me the opportunity to showcase my talent to different USL 2 teams. And luckily and thankfully, a coach like Marco was willing to gamble and invest in me, and this is how I landed here.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So originally, where are you from?
England. Oh, originally from a East African country called Eritrea.
Okay. Originally from Eritrea.
Yep.
And then when did you start living in England?
But born and raised in England.
Oh, born and raised in
England. In England, but originally Eritrean.
So your heritage is
Eritrean, yeah.
Yes, okay. Yeah. And then was it your parents that came to England?
Yep.
Okay, so your parents came to England.
Yep.
You were born and raised in England.
Born and raised.
Where at in England?
Birmingham.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
For a second there, I was like, I almost just said exactly how you said it. I was about Birmingham. But then I was like, I think I know how to say that in my own accent. So, okay, cool. So that's where you were.
Yeah.
And then the first time coming to the States was when you came to play for South Bend.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was your first time. And that was 3 years ago?
2023.
2023?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2
okay.
years ago, yeah.
So you came to play for South Bend, and then that was the summer. And then that fall, is that when you started at Spring Arbor?
So spring.
In the spring.
So in the fall, it took us a while to get the paperwork rolling and etc. So the spring is when I joined officially.
Okay, so you came in the next spring, and then so that was spring of 2024, and then you played for USL Lansing City first time last summer. Okay, awesome. So this opportunity that came originally from, a club that you were playing for in England, South Bend, you're seen by Marco. Yeah. Marco says you should come to play at Spring Arbor, and then you play. What is that opportunity meant to you, like in your personal life and in your soccer life?
Both life-changing, honestly, because like as a kid in England, you always hear about people going to America to play and whatnot, and like I was at a point where I had no connection to get here, and I was always like this is the dream. I want to get here. So when that opportunity actually came, and out of the blue as well, I was just like, here we go. Okay, let me face it head on and let's just get going. So it was like a surprise, but at the same time, it was like life-changing. Like, you don't think as a kid that parents came from a different country to go to England is ever gonna live his next 4 years or finish his university degree in America. So it's crazy.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so take me to that moment for a second where you get the opportunity to go to play at South Bend.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Are you thinking like this is just going to be a one-time thing? Are you thinking this may lead to something? Like, what's going on in your head in that moment?
First, I was just buzzing. First, I was like, what? I'm going to America. So I was like crazy. And then it was like, okay, something could come out of it. But then that was like at the back of my mind, truly. Like I was just like, let me live in the moment. Yeah. Not take this for granted and just play. And if something does come out of it, then it does. If it doesn't, oh well, I'd still had a great experience,
Right.
So, and luckily, then again, Marco took a big opportunity on me, and I'm here.
That's awesome. Here you are 2 years later. Already started in the USL League 2 this year. You guys have a couple of games under your belt too?
Yeah. I've got 2,
Two
team's got 3, I got 2.
Okay, and you got 3, and team's got 3. Okay, gotcha. So here you are 2 years later. You're playing. That's awesome, man. So one thing that I was thinking about, and I wonder if those watching maybe have a similar thought, and maybe it's just me, I don't know. But you mentioned that growing up in England, it was like this huge thing to get a chance to come to America and play. My perception has been the opposite for people in America. Yeah. It's like because the perception, at least my understanding, and maybe I'm totally wrong, but I don't think I am, is that the level of play
is different.
Is like way higher in Europe than it is here. Yeah. So tell me about that dynamic of like, even though the level of play is higher there, but there's still this draw to come. So tell me about that.
Well, I mean, of course, the level of football is always going to be better in England. That's our main sport.
Right.
You guys are so diverse. You guys got different sports, basketball, baseball.
And much younger in soccer. Exactly, I mean,
exactly.
How many centuries have
has
Europe been playing soccer?
Exactly. Yeah. But it's like, it's not just the fact that we want to come here for a chance to go pro. It's also the experience that comes with it,
Wow.
Like, you're living in America for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, obviously people carry on to stay here and whatnot, but just the thought of having to play here, and like if you're lucky to get a good scholarship, then it's like you're going to school for free.
Wow.
Playing football for free, you know, and you're going, like, you're getting all these privileges for free, and it's like why wouldn't you want to do that, So it's like,
that's really cool. So what would be, let's say it didn't work out for you to come here and do that. Yeah. What is like the typical pathway that you would go if you're still trying to pursue, education, soccer?
Okay. Well, in England, we don't really combine the two.
Okay.
So it's like you go school and you play football. They're not combined. It's not combined. Okay. So, but the route of going professional for many players, like the majority of footballers in England, is to climb through the ranks of semi-professional football.
Okay.
So semi-pro football in England is massive. It's humongous. There's different levels to it, and at the same time, like, once you see like the different levels, you sort of say to yourself, wow, like you might think this is a low level, and you see some of the players and you're like, yeah, the competition's not, it's a joke.
The high level must be really
crazy. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. Okay, so I see how it's separate there.
Yeah, it's separate.
Gotcha. So let's turn our attention a little bit towards like what your experience has been like. Yeah. I mean, I think it's still fascinating, your story, like coming here and all that. Like, that's so cool. We could talk about that for forever. But after coming here, you said the opportunity was life-changing for you, and I'm sure you're still experiencing
1,000,000%.
how that will actually play out, How many more years do you have at Spring Arbor?
3.
3 more years?
3 more
okay, so
years.
3 more years at Spring Arbor. So, at least being in the States until then.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more about maybe what you're looking for in the future.
Yeah.
But for right now, you have one USL season under your belt. You're starting a second one with Lansing City. Let's go back to last year. What was it like coming in, to play for Lansing City in USL 2? You had a little bit of experience with South Bend, but now you're playing, under Marco, who saw you and invited you to come in. What was that like for you, that experience last year?
It was a bit like, wow, like I had to take a step back because you have to realize, even though I'm still playing underneath the same coach, that coach is a different coach than the Spring Arbor coach. There's a Spring Arbor Marco and there's a Lansing Marco. It's different. The levels are different, which means the coach has to be different.
Yeah.
The players are even though a lot of us are playing for Spring Arbor and Lansing, you still have to manage the other players that are coming in too. So it's you have to fit those players into the system of football you play, which is now I have to accustom the way I play to them too.
Yeah.
So it's you're building new relationships. You're finding out different things that you couldn't do before now because other players' strengths are different.
Yeah.
It's so different, and it's now you're starting to develop and open a new wave of football that you never got to see before. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a new culture.
Yeah,
of a
new
team.
culture. There you go. Yeah, exactly.
And it's new. You have to meld together as a team.
Exactly. So you have to learn how to adapt very quick because the space of preseason to when the USL 2 starts is so quick.
Yeah,
so
the season is short too.
It's short, exactly. So it's
2 weeks of training. First game. You guys have had 3 games your first training was 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
And you've had 3 games.
3 games already. Yeah.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's you have to accustom yourself to the players, build relationships, build chemistry quickly.
Yeah.
Everything is so quick, and it's all about how quick you can adapt.
Yeah.
So it's really and that's what I mean, it's life-changing because those are lessons you learn and take with you forever. So it's it's very nice, yeah.
Wow. What did you feel like looking at your experience last year and how things went for you, for the team and for you individually? How would you kind of sum up that experience? What do you think it did for you? And maybe it's what did you accomplish individually, or what happened with the team?
Okay.
What happened as a result of being able to play last season?
Okay.
Where did that leave you?
Well, the biggest benefit for me was we started playing a system that we were going to play in Spring Arbor the next fall.
Okay.
So me and Coach Mark had talked previous to the season, and it was okay, we're going to play 3 back for Spring Arbor, and we're also going to play it for Lansing.
Okay.
But one reason why you're lucky is because you get a head start. Now you're playing at a higher level, and you get to learn it before the season actually starts. So it was
wow.
So USL 2 last year was, for me, it was more about learning than actually about you have to prove yourself. It was more about learning and understanding the position, so that when I play for school, it just becomes second nature to me, and that's what it did. Yeah, it really helped me and it improved me a lot. So
yeah, have you been on teams where the primary expectation is to prove yourself?
1,000,000%. Coming into a new team is almost always like that. Yeah. You always have to prove yourself. You have to show that you're the best player, because at the end of the day, the best players play.
Yeah.
So I feel a lot of the times you join a new team or you're starting something new, it's always about proving yourself. So
yeah. And you felt like this situation was a little bit different.
It was a little bit different.
So tell me about, how was it different? What was that like for it to be different?
It was different because I was coming into the team with a lot of the players I already played with at school. So it was a case of they already knew how good I was.
Yeah.
So now I could relax a bit, take the pressure off, and just learn this new whole position that takes because playing wing back takes a lot physically.
Yeah.
Let alone mentally.
Yeah.
So it's you learn how to do that now in this kind of level. Oh, you're gonna be fine in school.
Yeah. And you felt like you had that space from Marco to hey, it's okay if you fail a bunch of times.
1,000,000%.
Because we're building something.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's definitely in my conversations with players and my conversations with Marco, it's like it seems like that is a huge priority.
Yeah.
That it's like, I mean, even last year, like every time I would like talk with Marco, he's like, the result will take care of itself. The result will take care of itself.
Yeah.
Like we're not just here just to get wins. Like we're
1
here
million%
to develop and to grow and to train. And like that was your experience last
1
year.
million%.
Wow.
Because you have to look at even this year, for example, a lot of our players are young.
Yeah.
Like compared to every other team in all the leagues, we got probably the youngest team.
Wow.
So like we don't come to games with an expectation. Like the main point is just hard working and take what we learn in training to the game.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not like we have to win. No, it's like calm down. We learned, we did everything, we prepared right.
Yeah.
Now we just go and show it.
Yeah, and you go and show it.
Exactly.
Okay, wow.
Exactly.
So now coming to this year, right, after the experience of last year, now you're in your second season. You had the opportunity to play that formation last summer and in the fall. I don't know if you guys are doing the same formation or not. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we are.
Is it the same?
Yeah,
okay.
it's the same.
So now, after that experience, 1 year already with Lansing City under your belt, Spring Arbor under your belt, how has this season started off for you, and what's your experience been like?
For me personally, I feel like I've had a strong, I'd say a good 2 games, the 2 games that I played personally. And that obviously goes back to me knowing the position. Like I know the basics. I know how to cheat my position sometimes too, So like those are like the perks you get with learning that position for a while. You sort of know how to cheat with it a little bit. So like I said, like I'm going into every game confident, thinking I deserve to play and that I've worked hard for the position and I've worked hard to understand this position. So all I can do now is just show what Marco's been showing us in training. Yeah. Yes, sir.
And so you've been a part of 2 of the 3 games.
Yep.
So far, each game has been a 1-goal loss, right?
Yeah.
The 1-goal loss. And what has been, in your mind, the difference in those games so far? Maybe just, to the ones that you've been a part of. Like, what's been...
That's a good question.
Difference?
Yeah, it's very slim. Like I said, USL2 is a whole different level. We're versing other teams that have the big D1 names and the big D1 players. We're not a team like that. But at the same time, it's like there's not much that separates us from them, Like you said, we're losing by 1 goal. It's 2-1 every game, and like some of the time the goals are coming late as well. So it's like
87th minute was Midwest.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I saw that, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I thought about the moments last year. There was a lot of those last year.
Those,
Oh, the very end.
It's small margins. Football is a small margin game, and like I said, like maybe this comes down to maturism. We got a young team. We're still learning. We're still growing. So. I mean, I've got faith in our team. I think we're going to do great this season. I know we started off not the best, but we'll end off strong.
Yeah. Awesome. That brings me to what you are most excited for this year. What gets you going about being pumped for this season?
Everything, man. USL2 is a great tournament to be a part of, Like it's where all the best players go. Yeah. So being a part of it is like you're one of them, You're one of those players, and playing with different players from different teams and different countries. Like we got people from Portugal, Liberia. Like you don't get that anywhere else, So it's like
that's so cool.
It's you're not only just building like your talent, you're building relationships with other people that you never thought you would have met. So it's like it's great. Honestly, it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool. One last question, and then I might have like a wrap up thought. But I'm curious. Over maybe last year and this year, what has been one of your most challenging moments where it was like, man, I really feel like I'm in the valley right now?
You know what? The weather.
The weather.
No one talks about it enough. And this needs to be spoken about. Coming from England to here, no one talks about how Michigan weather is. One, it's a lie because it's meant to be summer right now, and please tell them I'm wearing 2 jackets for those who can see. It's freezing. And last year, this same time, it was boiling. Like the heat gets to a joke, and it's like, oh my god, like no one warned me about this. I think in England we have about 3 weeks of heat, and then we're good. We're back out with our trench coats. We're all right. But that's here it's unbelievable, man. The heat. But yeah, that's definitely one thing that I noticed took a toll on my performance. But you get used to it over a period of time. So it's fine.
So both the heat, but also just the fluctuation of
Oh yeah, man. Yeah,
it's a lot more consistent in England?
Was 83 degrees the other day.
Yeah.
The other week.
Yeah.
And it's been raining consistently this week. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What about the snow? Do you guys get snow in England?
Not as much. No
Not
way
as much.
near. Like sometimes I don't even think we get it. Here, I remember the first time I flew in to come here, they had to delay my flight because of a snowstorm. I got to the airport and I had to carry my 2 suitcases because the snow was up to my knees. What kind of weather is that?
Welcome to Michigan.
Yeah, I just wish someone gave me a heads up about the Michigan
That's
weather,
hilarious.
but yeah.
Well, now you can tell everyone that is coming from England what to expect.
Yeah, guys, be careful. The weather is not a joke here. Winter, strap up. Summer, don't wear anything. Don't wear anything.
That is hilarious. Awesome. So last question.
Yeah.
Tell me about what you feel like is next for your soccer journey, right? As you're, playing USL 2 second year, you got some more time at Spring Arbor still. Where are you going? Where are you headed? What's next for you?
Honestly, I'm taking it step by step. My end goal is 1,000,000% to be professional. So if that means getting picked up by bigger schools or a bigger USL 2 team in the future, maybe, then that's something I would like to see happen. Because at the end of the day, like I really want to play at the big stage, And I'm so thankful that Lansing and Spring Arbor has been the pivotal part of my journey, and I can always look back and say Lansing and Spring Arbor has my heart. So no matter what happens in the future, this will always be home for me. So
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes,
That's so cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a look inside the city through the eyes of Sahel Yessen. Thanks so much for joining me today,
Thank
man.
you so much for having me. This has been great.
That's
Honestly,
good.
it feels amazing talking to you.
Oh,
about
that's
this.
so cool.
I feel like a weight's been lifted off my shoulder.
Hey,
wow.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, any final message you want to tell to those that might be watching?
Come to Lansing games. We got a few home games coming up soon. I want to see everyone there that's watching this. And we're going to start winning games. 1,000,000%.
1,000,000%. Games will start going into the W column. Sahel Yessen, ladies and gentlemen, look inside the city. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you.